Good evening, sir. My destination is Lekki Phase 1.
Seriously? At least it's the worst customer service I've experienced.
What would you do if your ride-hailing driver ignored your greeting from the moment you entered the car? Would you give him a one-star rating? Or would you first discover the heartbreaking reason behind his silence? This is a story that will change the way you see strangers forever. Before we begin, if you're new to Storybanquet Films, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. Your support helps us bring you more touching and inspiring stories. The rain fell steadily over Lagos that evening. Tired after a long day at work, Lucy booked a ride home. Within minutes, the driver's silver Toyota pulled up beside the curb. She opened the back door and got in. "Good evening," she said politely. The driver didn't respond, not even a nod. Lucy frowned. Maybe he didn't hear me. "Good evening, sir." Still nothing. The man simply stared ahead, both hands gripping the steering wheel. His face looked tired, not angry. Not rude. Just empty. The car pulled away. Minutes passed. No greeting. No confirmation of her destination. No attempt at conversation. Nothing. Lucy's irritation began to grow. How difficult was it to greet a customer? She had used ride-hailing services for years. Every driver usually said something. At least a simple hello. This man acted as though she didn't exist. She pulled out her phone and opened the app. A one-star review was already forming in her mind. Poor customer service. Driver was unfriendly. Would not recommend. Then something caught her eye. A small laminated card was taped beside the steering wheel. At first she ignored it. Then curiosity made her lean forward. The words were written in black marker. "To my passengers. I lost my daughter 3 days ago after she battled kidney disease. Her body is still at the hospital because I have not been able to complete the payment and clearance. If I speak, I will cry. I have to keep working so I can bring my little girl home and give her a proper burial. Please allow me to drive you in silence. I am sorry." Lucy froze. The words hit her like a punch. Suddenly the silence in the car felt completely different. The man wasn't being rude. He was grieving. His little girl was gone. And even in death, she still couldn't come home. Her body remained in the hospital mortuary because he couldn't afford the remaining bills. So instead of sitting at home mourning, instead of receiving comfort from family, this broken father was driving strangers across Lagos. Every trip brought him one step closer to bringing his daughter home for her final farewell. Lucy looked at the back of his head. For the first time, she noticed the exhaustion in his shoulders, the redness around his eyes, the way he occasionally swallowed hard as though fighting back tears. The entire journey passed without another word. Outside, Lagos traffic roared. Vendors shouted. Horns blared. But inside the car there was only silence. Heavy, painful, human. Lucy stared out the window, thinking. How many people were carrying burdens she could not see? How many strangers walked around every day with broken hearts hidden behind ordinary faces? The woman selling oranges by the roadside, the security guard at her office, the man serving food at a restaurant, the lady smiling behind a supermarket counter. Everyone was fighting a battle. Some battles were simply invisible. When they arrived at her destination, the driver finally spoke. His voice was barely above a whisper. "Thank you." That was all. 2 words. Yet they sounded heavier than 100 conversations. Lucy felt tears sting her eyes. She wanted to say something comforting, something wise, something that would ease his pain. But she knew there were no words powerful enough. Instead, she simply nodded, stepped out of the car, and closed the door gently. Standing outside her gate, she watched the vehicle drive away. Its taillights disappeared into the darkness. Only then did she open her banking app. Instead of sending a tip through the Ride app, she transferred a much larger amount directly to the account number printed beneath the driver's message. A few minutes later, her phone rang. It was the driver. For the first time, she heard him crying openly. "Madam, I don't know how to thank you. Because of what you sent, I can finally complete the clearance tomorrow. I can finally take my daughter home. Lucy closed her eyes. Tears rolled down her cheeks. No father should have to beg just to bury his child, she whispered. He couldn't speak anymore. Only sobs came through the phone. After a while, he managed one sentence. God bless you. The call ended. That night, Lucy couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the silent driver. And she realized something important. We judge people too quickly. The impatient cashier, the quiet neighbor, the distracted colleague, the stranger who doesn't smile. We assume we know their story, but most of the time, we don't. Because everyone is carrying something. A loss, a fear, a disappointment, a heartbreak, a burden invisible to everyone else. And sometimes the kindest thing we can do is remember that. Moral of the story: be kind. Not because everyone deserves it, but because you never know what someone is surviving. The person standing beside you may be carrying the heaviest burden of their life, and your kindness might be the light that helps them keep going. Kindly subscribe, comment, like, and share.